I went to your schools. I went to your churches. I went to your institutional learning facilities. So how can you say I'm crazy? That's a little Suicidal Tendencies. Not my favorite band of all time, but a great band nonetheless. Anyone who's willing to combine cholo, gangster, and skate culture into one neatly wrapped, beautiful present called Suicidal Tendencies is fine by me. This is part 3 of the most stylish skaters in history. This is just a giant art museum. This is the Vatican or the Louvre, where we are just appreciating all of the most stylish artists we have in our little subculture. Anyway, we're not going to talk about my favoriteest guy here, the Flying Tomato, aka Shaun White, but we are going to use him to talk about style, specifically having your cake and eating it too, which I think skateboarders are better at than anyone on the planet.
Wait a minute, drinks, you're 19 years old.
Yeah, I'm talking about Mountain Dews, baby.
Yeah, he nailed it. Let's get into this. Rieder, an absolute legend. We lost him way too soon. I've been a fan since he was in that Subject to Change video, annihilating rails as a Grom. But here's his time to shine part. Highly underrated part. He skates everything in this. There's that goofy-footed style I've been talking about. I don't know how to explain it, but it's so sick. The way he takes this bump here, the switch flip is perfect. We're going to have to watch it again in super slow motion. Yeah, I've been a fan of his for a very long time. 2003 was a long time ago, even though it feels like a blink of an eye. It was so sick how he took it out of that back tail to the fakie nose grind. Look at that frontside flip, the crispiness. He was just chomping rails in 2003. Then he shows up here in 2006, and he's already one of the greatest skaters in the world. Did you see that catch? Oh, my God. Anyway, I like his kind of anxiety push there into this amazing-looking Impossible. I think that's the first Impossible we've seen from him in his career. And then he backs it up with this cruisy-ass Barcelona line. Tough spot to skate. There's way too much wax on those marble ledges. I didn't have fun there, so I pushed down the street and got beer. But check out the Manny Impossible out. So sick. Loose trucks. I love it. The fakey stalefish is amazing. Hide your girlfriend. Hide your ex-wife. Hide your current wife. And hide any girls you're going to plan to date in the future around this guy. That frontside 360 with the kickflip was absolutely perfect. The 5-0 big spin out into the bank. You don't see that trick often. I love his flat ground game. It's really on showcase in this video part. It's really on showcase in this line specifically. Perfect switch flip, perfect fakey flip, and then a beautiful looking switch backside flip before they were cool. Here he is tearing up Ripon. It's an extremely hard park to skate if you've ever been there. Cardiel and other people make it look easy, but look at him grab that crail. Beautiful. We talked about it in another video, and I will talk about it to the day. Amazing Impossible tail grab. That Bezos bump spot is really difficult to skate in person. I could barely ollie over it. There's things stopping your wheels. That front blunt was ridiculously sick. He ends this part with a switch backside big flip. Show me a better one. We're going to go to Cherry here. I'm loving the steez. The filming there was absolutely terrible, but amazing switch flip. He looks like he's wearing his sandals and he's about to longboard to school at Arizona State University in about 2011 with that bro tank on, but he somehow makes it look stylish. That fakey tray flip was perfect. Something about Style Gods, they can dress in any way they want to. Beautiful half cab flip. And still make it look cool. I love the way he comes around this table, even though whoever was filming Strobeck may be fucked up on the switch flip. Look at that kick flip. The stylish girl in the corner smoking a cigarette for who knows what reason, but it's there. I think there's a little Heath-esque quality on this kickflip, the way he bends his back knee and holds his head down, and the backwards hat. It's got some Heath on it. I don't know. That was just so amazing. It's hard to describe. The way he backsmiths and front 180s out, how he popped out of it like he's on a trampoline. Frontside flip over that big planter. So sick, this backside flip on the bump to bar. Dylan is one of the greatest that ever skateboarded. We're lucky we got him for as long as we did. People this good with this much style, and I guess sex appeal, which isn't usually something you say in skateboarding, doesn't usually last forever, but I feel like as the years went on, he only got better and only pushed his style more. The switch flip up onto this table, the switch Manny is insane. Didn't even bend his knees on the landing. Half cab Manny, Impossible out. That was so sick. There's his bro tank, ready to go to economics class at ASU. That had a little Heath on it too, but I love the bump to 5-0 back 180 out there, using Lockwood to a new advantage. And this kickflip over that Just so beautiful. Look at the way he's just positioned after it. Had to throw a little Alex Olsen here. That wasn't very stylish, hurting a pedestrian. We're all trying to use these streets, but look at the style. The 1 foot air right there, the Palace sweatshirt, kickflip upstream. Alex will be in a future episode. One of the greatest. His dad will probably be in an episode too. One of an even greater skater. But look at him take this street gap and something about this tray flip. I want to end this cherry part out with this. The black and white clothes, the catch on it, his arms going above his head there. All of it was so stylish, it's hard to contain. Never forget about his Gravis part. He got sober and dropped this part out of nowhere. Everyone's panties were dropped, men and women combined. The kickflip shifties absolutely never get old. I think he was at the apex of his skill set here, in the window, as some people may say, named Dill. But I think he's correct with that term. Dylan was definitely right in the middle of it. This front board goes past the curb there. Don't know what he's doing with his arms, but I love it. I feel like Dustin Dolan tries to do something similar, but doesn't come off as sick. That frontside ollie and the nollie bump off was just amazing. I'm always a sucker for sugar canes, especially in some Hawaii pool. Perfect nose blunt. Look at how beautiful that push is. I never became a Dylan clone. I was never into tight pants, and I'm not into baggy pants now. But I really appreciated seeing everyone in the skate scene dressed like one singular individual for a 2 or 3 year period. That was interesting. Look at the way he catches his tray flips. There's something cool about how it flips. It has a little more kick flip to it than most people's. Little kicky back nose grind to end out that line. This frontside flip going the hard way over the rail. Could be in an art museum. Maybe it is somewhere. I don't know what Dylan's past may be. But this tray flip up the curb, I think this really solidifies him as a style god. The way he catches it, the way his back foot is just stanky leg enough, it's unbelievable. He does a little Smolik impression here, who we'll see later when he does his frontside lip slide, and he basically stops bouncing mid-lip slide because he has so much style he doesn't even need to balance anymore. Ridiculous, Dylan. I miss you. The way he flips out of this tail slide flick is just so proper it hurts. I don't think anyone else should ever do that trick again. It's so played out. Another tray flip from Dylan. Those will never get old. The impossible heard around the world. If you saw the ad, you also could not understand how this was possible. And then you saw the footage and it looked like an average day for him. The switch front 3 over the rail. Whatever he just did on that wall in the bro tank was amazing. Little Canada spot there. Shout out to Justin B. Hanna. I like that channel. The impossible nose manny. That was sick. Doesn't hit the gate. All style. Arguably the greatest fakie flip of all time. I don't know. The way, how high he popped, how he caught it. And I think this ollie over down to drop, a lot of people could do it. But the way Dylan finesses it here, he just looks so good. He's not only the most stylish guy who's ever rode a skateboard. Maybe not on the board, but off the board. But he also has tricks to back it up. Impossible 50-50, so much better than Jamie Thomas's down clipper. And we'll end with this dip back Smith, the way he goes into the street and can't believe he did it. Daewon Song. Now, this is going to be tough. The first part we're going to pull from is his Deca second to none. This video is edited so fast, I never really noticed it, but every trick is edited to when his front wheels have already popped. I tried to pick some more refined tricks here. That crazy nose blunt transfer, the nose blunt down all those tables. How long did it take to set up? The tray flip over the gap and the bench. And I don't know how you switch nose manual on a roof with all the tar and bullshit that's up there on a California schoolyard roof. Anyway, I just want to use a couple clips from that. Skate-more, I think he got a little more refined. Look at that beautiful back Smith. I mean, he's a tech god, and if we're seriously talking at just doing tricks, that back tail was amazing. Is he the best on the planet? And I know that's a tough question to answer, but when you look at how well Daewon can skate, all the tricks he can do, and how well he performs them, he's definitely a tech god, but he's also a style god. Look at that kickflip fakie over the stairs. Beautiful. He kind of caught it with his front foot. He also skates tranny. This 180 over the love seat is so gnarly. He lands pure vert there. But I don't think Daewon gets enough credit for how good his style is. And that's why I want to use Skate more and also Cheese and Crackers coming up to really highlight some of his less tech tricks, as ridiculous as that sounds. The nose blunt, the way he switch rides down the stairs there. Whatever that trick was right there was beautiful. I love the spot choices he uses in this video, how good he is, but he's still able to manage to do tech tricks on some of the most janky spots that exist. The way he operates this over the caution tape, that was so beautiful. And that looked like a mistake, but Daewon makes it look beautiful. His switch nose manny abilities are obviously second to none. There's nobody on the planet doing better than that. Flipping out of the car wash banks, those are pretty gnarly in person. And I don't think that trick gets enough shine. How do you bail on that? That's ridiculous. The pull jam rock to fakie. Daewon doesn't need wax. He just needs shitty LA river water, and he can slide tail slides. That was artistic. Thank you, Daewon. And of course, we'll end this video part out with maybe this gnarliest switch nose manual ever done. I don't know how he comes back into this bank. If you know anything about his truck setup, his front truck is ridiculously loose, the one off the ground right there. What a style god. And I know a lot of people may not consider him a style god, but I absolutely do. Getting into cheese and crackers, when this dropped, everyone needed to own a mini ramp or at least have access to one. But I think what we're showing off here is not just the technical abilities of the trick, not just the style of the trick, but how he combines the two. He does so many tricks that no one else on the planet could do on this mini ramp, and he does them so perfectly. Look how caught that tray flip to fakie. His arms don't even move. Some of these tricks are hard to talk over because they're so beautiful and out of the box thinking. Daewon is just such a goddamn legend. I feel like I'm not qualified to talk about him. The way he popped out of that half cab blunt, whatever that was, crail slide to feeble fakie, that was so sick, dripping with style. Love how he puts a little bit of wheel there and doesn't do a blunt, but more of like a crook, a 5-0 crook to fakie. He 1-foots out of that. Look how big that heel flip is. Yeah, I went heavy on the Dylan and the Daewon because they're so good. I feel like we needed to take a little bit more time to appreciate their vast, extensive footage they have on this planet. Some janky setup into the switch nose grind. He even takes it switch back into the mini ramp. So difficult. I can't believe it, Daewon. But everything he does here, despite being tricks no one else can do, like this whatever switch nose manny right there, fakey pop in on the blunt, is just insane. I don't know who else could do that, but how does he make it look so good? He invents these tricks in his head, and then he performs them, but he has no other litmus test on how well it should be performed because no one else can even do them. And yes, Jerry, yes, MJ, yes, Guy Mariano can get very tech, but I don't think anyone else can get this tech. The tail slide 360s out both ways, the half cab blunt slide, the switch nose blunt slide. This guy is so incredible. I think sometimes we sleep on him. This is pretty cool. I don't know how difficult it was, but hitting that beer can into Haslam's hand so he could drink his last beer of the day can't be easy. Kind of looks like Max Palmer right there, slightly. But that was amazing. And then this little slow-mo section, kickflip blunt, kickflip out. Who else is doing that? Puts a little wheel on that. It's not a blunt. It's a fucked up pivot, but it's so beautiful. Does it to tray flip out like it's nothing. Daewon, I can't believe you do this kind of stuff. And the half cab blunt bigger spin or whatever that was, 540 big spin out, makes it look good, and he has no ego. Lucas Puig, okay, Euro guys, it's your time to get a little bit of shine. We're going to go to fellas here. We're going to look at, I believe, 2 parts by Mr. Puig, who's one of my favorites ever. Another guy, and there might be a theme on this episode, of making tech tricks look beautiful. I feel like Miles Silvis tries to look like him here, and I like Miles Silvis. He's really sick. Really nice guy, too. He was way too cool when I met him at a park. But I just like the way Lewis operates, that switch big spin, the way he catches it, his French style. I don't really know how to put it on paper or I guess on microphone right now, but look at how his foot sets up for the nollie back heel. There's just no one this good. He's surgical, but he's also got this athletic quality. Look at this switch heel flip, the way he caught it crooked. He's surgical, but he's almost like athletic ability. Like he runs 10K before he goes out and skates, hits the gym a little bit. I don't think he actually does those things. I think he hangs out on the beach with his family all day and then goes and gets a few tricks. But it's just so sick to see this weird hogwash of a guy. The switch slappy crooks, half cab flip out in Barcelona. Those parallel ledges right there are no joke. He switch flips into it like it's nothing. And he's got this certain way of landing his tricks. Look at the flow here, just cruising. Little front shove it, back 180. But really, I can't believe the frontside 360 with the heel flip over that. It's insane the way his foot came off and still rolls off the curb. The weird gear, the track pants, and the camo shirt, so sick. Got to give a little shine to Cliche. Bon Voyage is a great video. Backsmith, Blizzard flip, because why not? Look at this nollie back heel over this piece of concrete. The way he caught it, the way he finessed it. Lucas is one of the greatest on the planet as far as doing tricks. He's a lot like Daewon, but there's something in his style. He's got his board shorts on, no socks. The switch front 3 over that block is just so sick. The way he last second spun that 180 on the switch backside flip, backsmith, backside flip out. I feel like a lot of people these days can maybe get this tech, but they can't make it look this good. Switch backsmith, check this fakey tray flip out. Just enough stanky leg, sort of like Dylan, almost like I created a theme with this one or something. So good, and the switch flip back tail looks like it was nothing for him. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner is how quickly and fast he ate that. The switch flip over the bump, and check out the switch flip nose grind revert. That was so good. Switch heel over a bump to bar. You don't see those every day. They're really hard. Very lengthy switchback tail, triple shove out. Kien Lieu, a.k.a. the Donger. We're going to start with his Hokus Pokus part, 8th Street, 1989, one of the most important videos of all time. He's a young whippersnapper in this one. Emphasis on snapper. His ollies are the greatest thing on the planet. He's one of my personal favorites. I think that's San Diego City College, but I'm not 100% correct, but the way he grabbed was amazing. Look at that blast on that ollie, 1989. The way he methods, and some of these are methods, some of these are melons, that was for sure a method. No one else should ever do that trick again. Alling onto a lunch table for 1989, can you believe it? The donger was doing that. 1 foot was way sick. 180 up a table, because why not? Nothing's off limits in this era of skateboarding. As much as I like that Caveman was amazing, as much as I like Nodis and Gons in this time period, I feel like 8th Street was doing something a little bit different, pushing the envelope a little bit more. Maple Skateboards, 7 Steps to Heaven. He's a little bit older than this. This is 6 or 7 years later. Long flowing lines, the high socks, the braided hair. There's no one quite like the donger. Look at this big back 180. I think what's amazing when you watch the donger skate is not only that he keeps it so simple, he's the polar opposite of Daewon, but look at how he ollies over this. It looks like he just jumps and then it's glued to his feet and he just continues. They're stuck to his half cabs. Look at that perfect tray flip. He's in no hurry. This line's actually longer. I just had to chop it down for sake of posterity and time. Big 50-50 grind. Where Daewon can do every trick on the planet, Kien doesn't need to. This is a double ollie line. This thing is so beautiful. I don't know how his braids don't slap him in the head more often. He's on that Ron Allen tip with the hair. Another sick-ass tray flip. I love the long socks. I really love the suede Pumas, or as MF Doom says, the suede Puma Dollar Greens. 6 shoes to skate in. Ethan Fowler was also skating them around then. I believe the donger was sponsored by them, but look at how he operates that fakey 360 shove it. It was a worm-burning, beautiful sight. I love his switch 180s as well. He's in absolutely no hurry, and I wouldn't be either if I had the kind of ollie this guy has. Look at him, just Liu Kang it over that thing. Looked like he didn't even try. It's like olling over a crack for anybody else. A little bit mobbed on the kickflip, and it was still beautiful. You can argue with me if you want. I loved it personally. Big ollie over that rail, rolls it through the curb, continues going, and why not do another perfect tray flip as if there wasn't enough perfect tray flips in this part. This method is just getting out of control for style. I don't think it's any better. He shut that trick down. No one else do it on street. Please. Big backflip on the table. That was sick. And here he is ollieing over what appears to be like a kindergartner's pull-up bar, and he made it look really easy. Nick Trapasso, a.k.a. Trapass Out. He's like the guys left over at a Grateful Dead show that took too many hallucinogens and don't really have a brain left, but I think it's beautiful. This big backside big flip in Brea. I think it's a 13 stair. It took me out trying to ollie it when I was about 15 years old. Gnarly. That was perfect. I think what Trapasso's bringing to the table is, even though he's from Arizona, look at that backtail fakie. He's got this amazing ability, switchback 5-0, ollie over the curb. That was so sick. He's got this ability to just be this cruisy California bro. I think it's how many spliffs he put in his body per 15 minutes of being alive. Not only big spin the hard way, that was so sick. The way he lays out into this feeble, he just lays into it. There was no question of whether he was going to land it or not. Sick varial heel flip. And this nollie nose grind in Long Beach through the kink. A sick use of that. That was so amazing. Perfect switchback lip. He didn't last very long in the skate system. Love how he caught that. But while he was here, he was amazing. Switch over crook down a handrail. Way sick. And he has this way of rolling out of things where even if it doesn't flip perfect like that, he still kind of just cruises out of it. Like he's taking a bong hit after doing too much molly at some Grateful Dead show. That kickflip was amazing, the way it slapped his back foot. Love to shove it out of this front blunt. Nick's got this very cruisy style, but very legitimate flip tricks. You see that switch heel? Only thing better is this switch flip. Let's see that from the other angle. Perfect ninja flick, slaps the back foot. It doesn't get executed any better than that. It was textbook with style. And then Suffer the Joy, a amazing video. So much style in this video. If you don't know this video part, you probably don't know style. The nollie big heel and the cholo clothing was sick. The casual nollie front feeble and 360 shove like he's still asleep. He just got out of bed. I love this line. Casual ollie over. Toy Machine just had so much talent at the time. Austin Stevens, a stylish cat, sick nollie heel. Obviously, Ed's a stylish cat when he's doing nose blunts. And Johnny Layton, too. All those guys rip style-wise. And we've already talked about this line in a different video, and we're going to talk about it again. One of the best switch tray flips ever. The spot, as we said, will perpetually smell like marijuana for the rest of its existence until this planet blows itself up or another planet blows us up. I love the Wally here, very casual. They weren't that hot yet at the time. And he doesn't even try on this tray flip. So sick. He'll end this line with the big spin front blunt fakie, and it's just so crispy. Look at that. So easy. He's still in pajama pants. This nollie flick, the way he flicks out his foot is insane. Slaps his front foot. That was so perfect. Not even the most technical line, but when style is the forefront, that's all that matters. Nollie front crook on that gnarly Miami hubba. Backtail fakie on a big handrail. Kid was killing it. His switch varial heel flips never get old. This part came out of nowhere. You did not expect it. Nollie backside flip. Appleyard destroyed those rails, going nollie into them in a different video. Switch flip in Redondo Beach. Antoine switch heeled it in our last video. He nollie flips it, though, after, with so much style and grace. It's ridiculous. Nollie inward heel before Brian Herman brought him to the mainstream. That was so sick how he caught it. And yeah, I think he has the best backside big flips ever in the history of skateboarding. How slow they flip, how he catches them. Switch back 3 to end this part out. We got to talk Luan. This will be the first time we only look at flat ground tricks by a skater. He's that good. This is a barracks video. I'm not a barracks guy. I don't like people profiting, especially super kooks like Barra, by bringing skateboarding indoors. But I do love the filming on this and how good Luan is. Very few guys can switch 3 shove it and ballerina out like that. Look at that big flip. You've got like PJ and P-Rod maybe on his level of tech tricks on flat while still having style. And only one of those guys is as good of style as Luan, and I'm definitely not talking about P-Rod when I say that. Extremely sorry. He's really young in this. Look at that beautiful nollie frontside flip. He's got a strong push for a younger cat. Love that front shove it. It was head high, and then the switch tray flip's kind of low. I like that, though. Big switch big heel into that bank. That was sick. And then I'm cheating by this bump trick, but this hard flip is so beautiful we have to watch it. I was exposed to Luan around this time when Extremely Sorry came out. But my dad randomly surprised us with tickets to the Los Angeles X Games. Look at that fakie flip, and the switch front heel is caught so proper it should be illegal. Wow. And I remember watching Luan and Shane O'Neill warm up on flat before the street section, a street competition. That nollie hard flip is so sick. This whole line, basically flat ground, perfect front shove it, perfect frontside flip over. He's got that finesse, but he's almost recklessly out of control, but he's fully in control at all times. I don't know how they breed him down in Brazil, but Luan is one of the greatest to ever do it. Look at this flat ground kickflip, one of the best of all time. He probably helped Janowski sell even more than they already did just because it was the only shoe he wore for 20 years. I don't know why he got on that shitty Brazilian shoe company with the leaf on it, but that's who he skates for. That nollie heel flip could not have been any higher. That was so sick. I don't even know if my eyes are playing tricks or not. Scott Oster, tough guy to cover in this, but he does have a lot of great photos and some footage. One of the greatest style gods of all time. Straight Dogtown, Venice Pit grab, and then the way he's laying into that slash or Smith, and look at how his body is horizontal to the coping on that juice cover. That is one of the sickest shots in skateboarding history. It's amazing. We've got some legends here. We got Dressen and Grosso talking about him in a Loveletters. That G-turn is one of the greatest of all time. And of course, the sickest backside slash in skateboarding history. It's also better than any slash in surfing history. It looks like he's slashing the top of pipeline in a zero gravity test box somewhere on a Hollywood film studio. And then this Oster with the Smiths. This is the greatest slash grind I've ever seen in my life on film. He's old and he's still ripping. And then this spot, the Supreme ramp, I heard it's hard to skate, but Scott's able to hold his back Smiths for a good 5 or 6 blocks on this janky little bowl ramp. That was so rad. Aimu, we absolutely have to talk about Aimu. For all the talent coming out of Japan, I think this kid's really standing out. His Frontliners 2-part, it's edited terribly. I don't know who your editor is, Aimu, but you should fire him. But you're skating so good, it doesn't matter. Look at that proper fakie flip. He's got a little Antoine in him. He's got a little Wade DeSarmo cleanness. And then I want to say he's got some Wenning. And yes, we're going to get to Wenning. The way he operates these ledge tricks, I love how he turns out of them, how his quick 180s out of things, and how close his feet can be together. That was such a sick nollie crook, nollie heel. The front feeble on that. He's going slow, but he's such a good style artist that I don't even care. The heel flip crooks is perfect. And then the way he 180s into the switch crooks, how he always over the ledge and then into the switch crooks is perfect. Nollie inward heel front nose, just cruising, heel flip over the pillar. Makes it all look very easy. Legitimate back nose blunt, but that'll just start a line for Aimu. Look how good this nollie front heel is. So lazy, so perfect. Everything slaps his feet exactly how it's intended to be. And I like when he shove it out of tricks, and I can't say that about a lot of guys. Perfect flat ground back three. His tray flips are great, no stanky leg at all. His feet are actually almost heel clicking like we're back in the early 90s, but I think it's incredibly sick in this day and age. Perfect cab aerial, perfect backside 360. He's got so much style on it, and that's a shove it late 180. That was not a big spin. That was so rad. Half cab blunt slide, holds it forever. He's got an amazing looking switch push. Almost makes baggy pants look cool. It almost makes me want to go get a pair, but I will not. I am not relenting on my hatred for tiny and huge pants. We don't have to be this insane with our gear, but I'm kind of backing it because skaters don't give a shit. That was not quite a nose grind. That might be an overcrook on a ledge, and I thought it was beautiful. I love the way he shovets out of this. So sick how he caught it. His arms stay low. He can also get extremely tech, but he deserves a way better sponsor than Element. Look how casually he sits on that 5.0 through the kink like it's a skate park handrail, and the way this varial heel flip slaps his feet, it's like he has bindings on at the end of it, and this is a perfectly operated nollie big spin. I love every second of that. It was so good, Aimu. We also got to check out his Element Skateboards video part. This caballerial is insane. It's edging on being as good as a Reynolds one in his faded 90s jeans there. Perfect back nose blind. I love the way he pops out of those. Not a very big gap, but the way he floats down this, I had to include it. That his back threes will never get old. There's that tray flip again with the feet close together. I think he's got a very signature style for that trick. And this front shove, it spins a little too far, but he catches it and corrects it in midair. Look at it from the other angle. Oh my God, that was so sick. It was like a shifty. There's a real shifty into his late big spins. That was so rad. I love how he sets up for his switch tail slides and how he gets into them. Kickflip back nose grind, revert, instantly grinding there. And he ends this one out with a perfect flat ground switch front 360 to pound the knuckles. That was so sick, Aimu. I hope you get a real sponsor one of these days. Shao, another ripper we lost way too early. An all-terrain vehicle to the fullest extent. Emerica yellow, he has a really sick part he shares with Jehobel. The way he operated that air at Fort Miley is so sick. He can skate rails, he can skate flat ground, he can skate bowls. I never went to this bowl. I think it's in San Jose or was, but it looks hard to skate, and he makes everything look easy. Kickflip Indy, because why not? Look at that transfer right there. Oh my God, Phil. Okay, this line in SF is sick. Look at this feeble popover. I don't know how he locked that with his 58 millimeter wheels, but that was so amazing there, Philip. Kind of weird kickflip off over the ledge, but that was sick. The way he's power slid when he came in from that wall bonk there, so rad. And then just kind of creatively skating here. A little bit different type of vibe for this time period. Sick nollie flip, and then ollie up, ride down the different steps. Yeah, Phil. I love how he skates this rail. The yellow shirt, the simple shoes, the Smith grind here. Look at how dipped that is. Textbook Smith grind. That's what should show up when you Google search it. Back lip on the Jerry spot, but it was really the Phil spot. Look at that thunderous push he has because he can skate everything. Floaty kickflip up, wall ride. I love how he's doing the stereo thing here. The way he locks his feeble grinds on ledges is something of immense beauty. That was so good. Just kind of carving. Why not throw a tray flip in there with the papers under his board? Another perfect tray flip right there. This is 96, 97, I want to say. I love how he rode down the stairs right there. Then we've got Think Dedication. It's like a year or two later. Big ollie off the curb cut. Big Smith grind. Locked in perfect. This line's amazing. Big tail slide to fakie. Amazing push. And then one of the best looking switch flips ever on flat. Love how he bones out his airs. That was a huge gap right there. Yeah, he skates vert too. Phil's that good. Rest in peace, Phil. Love the gap to back lip right there. It was gnarly. And some sort of alley-oop frontside air. Skating a pool in complete darkness. I think the only light there is coming off the camera. You can't see anything. It's all feeling. Look at that pivot. That spot looks ridiculously gnarly. Switch back lip because Phil's got it like that. Big back three over that. And look at the style on this front board. We will slow-mo that. Look at how sick his arms were. If you've never skated China Banks, then you will never understand how gnarly these tricks are right here. I don't know how he's doing anything on that, let alone a tail slide fakie. And, of course, his 5.0 at Fort Miley. We covered his Thrasher cover in July 96 in the Busenitz video. That was so insane. I don't know how he did that. There it is right there. Maybe I'll put me talking right now over the picture of me talking before. Brad Cromer. Different type of style than some of these guys we've been seeing today. He can skate tech, he can skate ledges, but I think he's on that Ray Barbie tip. He just flows on everything. That nollie tray flip was perfect. And yes, Dickie's Brad Cromer is the best Brad Cromer, although I like all iterations of him. Just wallies off that curb nose grab. Sick looking delayed no comply 360 ollie through these poles over the hydrant. That was rad. This was his welcome to Krooked part. I remember skating the SF library in like '08, and there's this short dude there just ripping, doing the most amazing feeble grinds and hurricane grinds on the ledge there. That spot was extremely difficult to skate, that man-made bump. Look at the nollie inward heel right there, the casual shove it that slides on the ground. I didn't know who he was, and then this video part, this Welcome to Krooked, came out like 2 or 3 days later on the Deluxe website, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. This kid rides for Krooked. No way. I love how he handles these barriers right here. He looks good in Adidas. He looks good in Huff shoes. He looks good in whatever he's skating now. Perfect tray flip off the curb. Skirts it 180 up the curb. I don't usually like lip slides on ledges, but I thought he operated that one nicely. And, of course, the 5-0 back 180 out on Hubba before the place got destroyed. Cruisy nollie heel flip. He's in no hurry here. He has a really amazing looking push. I like how poppy his ollies are. Look at this kick flip. So good. Slapped his feet. So perfect. Flips out of that. Love how he pumped the bank. And then the interesting way to skate this spot with the 5-0 fakie. It looked difficult to do, but it was very stylish. This line's incredible. Backside big spin. Switch front shove it. Style gods do not need to do tech tricks unless they want to, like Daewon. Switch nose grind, and he's feeling good about himself on how powerful those flip tricks were, so he'll just lip slide this little 6-stair rail. So rad. This switch flip's one of my favorite of all time, down in Miami somewhere. Just the way his feet kind of crested out there as he flipped and caught it was so perfect. And that spot at Fort Miley, it's to the side of what you normally see, is ridiculously gnarly to ollie. I don't know how you switch big spin it. Nollie frontside flip down a double set, perfect. Love the wrap on that. That was way cool. And the switch backside big flip to end, or the switch backside flip to end it. I think that's in Berkeley. Here's his full part turns pro. We're not going to get into baggy pants Cromer. He's got too many good video parts. I just wanted to highlight more of his coming up time. This is a really sick nose grind on this Galway lane sign. That was rad. I love how he stomps every trick clean. Nollie over the bar, the bump to bar. You don't see those very often, and there's a good reason. That fast plant was so stylish. I should have only used the fisheye angle, but you can't win them all. Perfect tray flip. He is so casual. He is so relaxed. He is so in control, and it looks so good. Even his pushing's beautiful. One-ups himself there by no complying into the tail slide flick. Perfect switch big spin. This other angle really does it justice, how it wrapped around his back foot. The big 50-50 doing some Leo Romero shit, and then the nollie frontside heel. That was perfect. We'll Sebo Walker switch flip. We'll throw it in there. We'll throw in the Gons, too, while we're at it. Kick flip back 50 on some crusty spot. It looked difficult, but he makes everything look easy. More refined, just switch-alling over that, even though he could do anything. Perfect textbook Smith grind. More lip slides on ledges, but that was sick. Tough spot to skate there off the bank. Legitimate frontside flip. I can't believe how good Cromer is. And I used to think he was just this random guy at SF Library smoking cigarettes and doing hurricanes. Here he is showing up Dill. Dill's ender was a kickflip over 2 trash cans on that same spot. He flips over Blubba backside. That was perfect into the shitty ground. And another nollie big spin the hard way. I like how he lands stiff-legged on it with his feet close together. That is style. Peter Smolik, if you know anything about shorties in the mid to late 90s, they owned everyone. I think a lot of tricks have been copied from him since here. I think Yudo does a lot of his tricks. The switch 270 front board to back up the Muska here, legendary. Yeah, small rail, but that was some breaking, proving ground right there. The back 270 back tail, the illusion flip is hideous but amazing at the same time. He makes everything he does look great. The switch 180 crooks, 180 out. The 180, the back 180 to switch crooks. Just incredibly tech tricks at a time period where other people were not making their shit look this good. He's got this certain way of his arms and his hands when he sets up for tricks. 6 switch tray flip, and this switch ollie over the rail into the bank is super gnarly. That could be in a video part today. Something Wes Kramer would switch hard flip over. Backside flip down something big for a very tech heavy part. It's nice to see him backside flipping over some big stuff. Another illusion. Love how he ollied up and then hit that bump. That was sick. Switch nose slide to switch at the no longer Venice, and then this board slide. One of the most stylish things ever. We saw Dylan do that lip slide that was similar. Switch 180 switch back 5-0 on hub. I love how he's wearing the real sweatshirt, even though he skates for shorties. Obviously, Fulfill the Dream is a legendary video. Smolik can do it all. That crazy nollie back 360. He's got so much style when he pushes too. And then I love how this is filmed. Not the greatest filming, but the way they zoomed out was perfect there for the ollie. He's got a little bit of Kalis hands going on the back 270 back tail spin out. Oh, yeah, he backtail big flips because he can. There's another bro tank. It fits with the video. Some big baggy shorts and the long socks. I love all of it. He puts a clinic on this ledge. Back tail 270 out for the time period, even for now. That was so ridiculous. And then his Gumby body bending and contorting everywhere makes his skating look even sicker. Huge board slide. Those are some heavy kinks. He takes it with grace. I love his arms, the way they move around. He does actually have to try, I believe, on his flip tricks and his ledge tricks, and I think it shows. The Storm. We haven't talked about the Storm yet. A guy always over a DJ in this video. Sick melon grab over that. Back nose grind, nollie varial heel out. I just like that backside flip for some reason. I can't fully explain it, but the switch backside flip's even better. You may know this spot. It's the chain to bank that Tom Penny absolutely destroyed. And he takes a nose grind off this weird home-built box into it. That was so rad, Smolik. Love this one. I don't think I've seen that one since. Someone's probably done it. That switch ollie's perfect. Let's see that again. Over the pole. I love how it looks like a Biala one where you can't even tell it's switch. Switch illusion flip. I'm including every illusion in his video parts here. I love the way he operates these shitty Osiris demos. That was a thing of style. I don't know what's going on with the filming, but maybe they didn't have the fisheye. Using car headlights as a way to light up the spot. The switch melon was so rad. And, of course, the switch heel over it with the bandana on his head. The guy is the personification of style. Look at that flick. He ollied over and then flicked late. Perfect fakie flip. I think this is Lyon, France. Kind of gets crazy here with the switch nose slide. Varial heel flip out. That was rad. Skating some Wallenberg, an Ave trick right there. Way before Ave was as popular as he is now. And the switch nose slide, fakie tray flip out in Japan. Yes, Brian Wenning. We're going to end this video with Wenning. The Hunchback of New Jersey, Quasimodo of the Garden State. I don't care what you call him. His part in photosynthesis is amazing. Look at his steez. He made nose grinding and popping out early popular. The perfect nollie back heel, the beat he skates to in this. Everything about it's perfect. He makes cargos look cool. The switchback tail, shove out. He has those on lock. That's one of the best switch tray flips ever. These love lines will never get old. This is indelible for skateboarding history. This is one of the greatest styles to ever exist. And when I say Hunchback of the Garden State or whatever, it's sort of how he looks over his shoulder when he's performing his maneuvers. That switchback nose grind was sick. The switch heel in, the switch heel out at Pier 7. He's got this Quasimodo way of skating, but it's really clean, and I think he reps the East Coast really hard, despite that terrible New Jersey palm tattoo he has on both hands. That is not the business, but I can look past it because his skating has been so good, like this switchback tail at Flushings. That is extremely lengthy for any time period, especially the year 2000. Perfect nollie heel over. I love these power lines he does. The nollie back 180 is perfect. And he's got to show how well he can switch nose grind. Oh, and he can pop those out early, too, because he's Brian Wenning. I love the crazy hair. The nollie back nose grind on the curved ledge pops out early. This is literally history right here. I don't think anybody's come out of the East Coast since with this much style. Literally out of nowhere. This video really put him on the map. I'm sure he's been in some more local videos or something else before this. The switchback Smiths. He has the best switchback Smith in the game. The switchback tail big spin. It doesn't get any better than that. So rad. And then, of course, switch tray flip, Brooklyn Banks. This was before it got hot again, way before him and Papalardo apparently used to sleep there. His part in subtleties that he shares with Brian Wenning, not scares. Nollie nose grind, the nollie 180 switch crooks on the tall side of the bench, and then he mirrors it with the half cab crooks here. To one of my favorite nollie tray flips on flat I've ever seen in my life. Flip so perfect. The faded baggy ass jeans. Fakey crooks. And then he pulls the switch, back nose grind, fakie flip out. He mirrors that in his DC video part, but this came out second. The perfect switch front shove it. The nollie front nose, big spin out. And this is, I think, the greatest line ever filmed on ledges. You can argue with me all you want. I think every trick he does in this is operated so well. The fact that he's standing on his big baggy jeans in those links. The best switch tray flip, I think, ever on flat. Ever. And that's saying a lot. And the switchback tail 270 shove, so good. We're going to have to watch that whole line again. It's just so much better than anything Brandon Biebel's ever done. The fakie nose grind's perfect. The switch front blunt, he pops out of. He's got so much prowess on the board there. I don't know how you skate in pants that big, but when he makes it look good, that switch tray flip will never get old. This entire line is indelible in my memory. I will watch it another 10 million times after this, like the 10 million times I've already watched it before. Never gets old. We're going to end this whole video with the DC video. He is ripping in this part. The switch manny, switch heel out. He got some height on that switch heel somehow. He gets away with the revert because he does perfect tray flips like that. And I love his push. It's kind of lazy, but kind of got some power behind it too as he's hunchbacking into every trick here. The kicky back tail. I believe this is City Hall in Philly, right across the street from Love Park. RIP to, I believe, both of those spots now. The switch front feeble's perfect. The nollie heel back lip is perfect. The nollie 180 nose grind 180 out. Switch flip back tail. He's got the big faded jeans on. I don't know how he's skating like that. They're tucking over his whole shoe. Fakie crooks, and he takes it to a switch backside 5-0 through the keyhole. So rad. I believe this entire part is switch, fakie, and nollie. Maybe there's a regular stance trick in this. I can't think of it. Oh, there it is. Back nose grind 180 out and back nose grind nollie heel out. So there goes my whole theory on it, but it's still sick. The switchback 360, so much better than Trapasso's. No shade to Trapasso. And this is him mirroring that line from Subtleties, even though this came out first. The nollie crooks, the nose grind, nollie flip out. It was so perfect. The height he gets on that switch heel out of the backside 5-0. And that switchback 50, the way it was filmed. Destroying Macba. That was a perfect switch heel flip, and I love the style on the way that switch varial heel flip flipped out of that Manny trick. Nollie nose grind, pop out early on a ledge. That trick's extremely difficult. Beautiful looking nollie backside flip. I like his casual lazy push here, pulling up his pants because they're about to fall off. The big white t-shirt, all of it makes me so happy to know that Wenning was one of the greatest ever to do it. That is the best switchback Smith ever done, ever. Tell me a better one, but I don't think one exists. That is just textbook. And we'll end this whole video out with a slept-on trick. It's super gnarly to go into the love fountain. And what does Wenning do? He pushes into it, switch with style, and switch back 180s it. That was so rad.
Oh, no!